This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global, 2 days away from fighting out the O2, joined by a very, very confident George Groves, backing his man Luke Campbell all the way. Tell me why.
This is sport, and this is Luke Campbell's time. It seems like every man his dog is in favour of Lomachenko, and in many ways rightly so. But I've had first-hand experience of seeing Luke Campbell in the gym. I know what he's capable of, and ultimately this is sport. Nothing is a given, and I believe this is not his time, like his destiny, like it would happen inevitably. He needs to go out there and put it together and perform to his very best ability. But I know he's capable of that. I know this is, if he's going to do it, this is the best time for him to do it. And with that in mind, I've seen it, I've visualised it. He's going to go out there and he's going to beat the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of the behind the scenes stuff with Luke during camp. Can you tell me the reasoning why he's been sparring 3 people at once?
When I see him spar, I hope you don't mean there was 3 in the ring throwing punches at him at once. Is that what it was? Is that what it was? Yeah, I didn't quite see that, but if it was, I think maybe there's a new technique that needs to be employed. I'm not sure how many arms they're expecting Lomachenko to have on fight night, but you never know. So he's at Luke. The sparring that I've seen him doing, he's been great. He's switched on. He's in control, but he's nice and sharp and fast, and everything's firing. Like, this is a fight that, to beat someone like Lomachenko, you have to be mentally switched on from the get-go as much as physically, and that's where he's at. I think he's kind of an underrated fighter in the British public side, just because they haven't quite seen the best of him yet. Plus, a lot of his fights have been sort of out on the road or forgotten about, and he's sort of been tarnished as sort of, I got beat by this guy or beat by that guy. But there was other circumstances that were involved, like always in boxing, and the best is always yet to come. So he's in a good place. This is the right time for him. He's in good form. He's coming off the back of some good wins. He's had great sparring. It's that time in his life at 31 now where he has to step up to the mark. So there'll be a lot of nerves rattling around his belly, but that will keep him supercharged, ready to go and take on the world. Take on the world. Like, just, some of us have been there before, where we've been huge underdogs. Everyone's writing us off. To be fair to Luke, I don't think anyone's had to do it quite as hard as he has, because the guy he's fighting is legitimately that good. But what a gift, I don't know how to describe it any better. What a gift, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be the best, everyone wants to win world titles, but you've got the chance to box and beat the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world and collect all these belts and show everyone what you're capable of, and who knows what goes from there. So go out there and just do it.
Look forward to it on Saturday night. Andre Ward's in town, obviously your old mate Ward-Froch and Andre keep having their back and forth on social media. Did you see Andre's tweet as well as he arrived into the UK?
Yeah, he's coming to the UK. I did see it. I can't think what he said now. I was saying there's a bit of Froch banter in there somewhere, I'm sure. Yeah. I think them two keep it fun. I wouldn't imagine Ward's got any ambition to come out of retirement, but at the same time, if he can try and mug Ward-Froch, then that'll be his trip worthwhile. So I'm glad he's coming over. I'll try and stumble across him. We were never on each other's horizons to box, really, but I've always been a fan of his.
Just jokingly, if it does kick off between them two, are you gonna nip in and help Andre?
I don't know. I'll chin one of them, like, if I can. Hopefully I've got a bit of weight advantage. I've definitely got weight advantage over Carl. He don't really put it on, but I ain't seen Ward anytime soon. So who knows? I'll just kick the one who's getting beat, and that way, I'm. No, I'd separate it, because that would be totally unprofessional otherwise.
I want to talk about last week in Russia, Kovalev Yarde. I'm guessing you watched the fight. What did you make of Yarde's performance? Yeah,
I admire Yarde for first of all going to Russia. Do you know what I mean? Which has been an uphill task to start with. I'd have a lot of anxieties about going to Russia. We're finishing off your prep before the fight, and then obviously fighting the hometown hero in Kovalev. But I think he gave it a great account of himself. He shows that he can belong at the top level, but also I believe there's a lot more to come from him. There's a lot more improvement that he can make. He's a good athlete. He's got definitely got heavy hands. He's fast. He's got fast hands. He lets them go. There's just a couple of things that he needs to improve upon, and maybe a couple of things, some championship experience that he needs to gain. I saw a highlight video as well of the corner where Tunde the trainer had been mic'd up, and there was a couple of things that I thought would have been, for me, would have troubled me. It's like he was telling him, go and empty the tank in this round. Never say empty the tank to me, because I just get anxiety about getting tired. And then when that round was up, I think after the big 8th round where he nearly got rid of him, there was sort of like an embrace and a cuddle before the start of the next round, like the fight was over. And from a mental point of view, you never want to be in that situation when you've still got more rounds to go. Because I felt that he was totally cooked by it, and that was what finished him in the end. He got stopped with a jab, but he was just exhausted. He's going to be. His body is that type where he's not built for 12 rounds. Not really built for endurance. He's a power athlete. So he's always going to be extremely dangerous. He has to work on his conditioning to just carry that through the 12 round. But I believe he's got a great future. He learned a lot from that fight. I'd like to see him back with a couple of maybe rebuilding fights and then back at the top level. Light heavyweight's a great division. There's so many great fighters out there. I mean, Kovalev might be the weakest champion at the moment when you think about it. So, and fair play to Yarde, as I say, just for going to Russia with limited experience. And when you hear the rumours about their training schedule and they don't spar and all these other things, it's like, wow, if that is the truth, it might be worth making a couple of changes, and then we see how far you really can go. Because he's marketable, he looks the part, he speaks well, and he can fight. So I wish him really well.
Onto the heavyweight division. You're a good guy to ask about this because you fought in Saudi Arabia. We've seen Ruiz-Aj Joshua 2 being announced for December the 7th in Saudi. Did you face any problems out there on your fight week?
Once I was out in Saudi Arabia, it was okay. We got through customs fine. No one got arrested. No one got quarantined. Nothing like that. Which, it's a joke, but we never knew. Like we heard all these stories, and I genuinely didn't really have much first-hand experience. The only people I could ask who I knew had been to Saudi were like friends of friends who were like high-end business executives or something else. So no one had been out there for sport. No one had been out there for vacation. No one had been out there to see family. So we didn't know. There was a lot of anxiety getting out there. Lots of questions and problems getting visas because we had to get work visas, but the tournament would only provide us with, say, like me and the corner men, but you're bringing a team out there. I've got to bring my physio, my doctor, other members of the team, so we had to deal with that. But once we got there, the hotel was lovely, the people were friendly, the food was good, the arena was nice. This was in Jeddah, which apparently is a little bit more up to date. Part of Saudi, a little bit more of a tourist place where Saudis go to vacation. So, they had the facilities that you would expect, for a big event. I'm not sure about the area where the Joshua Ruiz fight is taking place, so I'm not sure if that would be the same. But fight fans couldn't go to my fight in Jeddah because you needed a reason to get the visa, and if you couldn't buy a ticket, then you couldn't get a visa, and they just didn't put the tickets on sale. So that was really disappointing.
I think with this, if you buy a ticket, you get a visa automatically.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, obviously with Joshua and Matchroom, a bigger organisation, more established than the World Boxing Series was, so they probably thought of this, and we were the first time to do it, so maybe they've learned from mistakes that were made when we went before. But it was a tough place to go. It's different country, different laws, different rules, stuff that you might not have thought of that you've got to adhere to. But once we got out there, we was okay. Weather was really humid, which was okay for me for making weight, but not ideal for anything else. Inside it was nice and aircon, so no difference. Atmosphere was okay. It was pretty rowdy out there. There was a good crowd. Didn't really know anything about boxing, so they were just cheering at random points,
Some weird questions at the press conference as well.
Yeah, there's that clip where that guy asked me some real, and I'm disappointed with my response. I was just like, I'll leave it at that. I think I was pretty frazzled then. Just to get there was an achievement, but to get to Saudi, let alone answer questions come fight week. So yeah, they're brand new to boxing. They don't get it. So I'd imagine. I don't know why it's in Saudi Arabia. Even if it is money, you think if there's money elsewhere, it must be absolutely mega money. And even then, I don't know, the Saudis are not going broke anytime soon, so I'd imagine if it's not for this fight, it will come in the future. So it's a weird one. It's almost, you don't want to say it's a cash out. Maybe it's just such a good deal, a one-time deal that you can't turn down. But for Joshua, I thought, take all the advantage you could have had, and having UK advantage would have been such a moral boost for him. He could have, he's been there and done it. Like that's the feeling you want sometimes. I've been there, I've done it. Fighting in Cardiff, been there, done it. Ruiz now, not sure how well he's going to travel. He's kicked up a fuss, but maybe he's just doing that for dramatic effect. Maybe they're all tied in to help promote it. I genuinely feel now it's more of a 50-50 fight when I felt it was just going to be a Joshua. Joshua should just see him out if he's switched on. So we have to wait and see. See how Ruiz travels. He might not travel so well. So interesting.
Just rounding off the interview away from boxing, how do you think Frank Lampard will get on at Chelsea?
I hope he's given the time to establish himself. I'd love Frank Lampard to be there for a very long time, as long as he wants to be. Started the season, probably playing better than the record suggests, so he's been a bit unlucky in that respect, and obviously his hands are tied. It's just a team that he's inherited. He can't make new signings, he can't really make that stamp on it. But I feel he's definitely he must be the sort of person to get the best out of players, and that is what is required at the highest level in football. You're a manager. You're there to manage the team, manage the players. I think he's probably one of the best people out there to do that. Every time I've met him, he's been a great guy. Everyone who I know who knows him says exactly the same thing. That he's a good guy. He's genuine. He always has your best interests at heart. And I hope, obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I hope to do really well. But also, I hope that he does really well.
All right, George Gross, thank you very much for talking to IFLTV, and I'm sure we'll grab a word on Saturday night.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice one. Cheers. Nice one.